We have waited long enough. It is time to start decorating for Halloween. I'm going to start with my back staircase. Now this is a transition area between my outside display where on Halloween night I'll be having a Halloween party. That's where the majority of the guests will be, but inside is where of course the adult beverages are, and you have to pass this staircase. So I like to do kind of a little transitional scene, just something different from my other displays. And this year I'm going to be doing a raven theme. Basically, my concept here is we have this gentleman who has been attacked by the ravens. So Lowe's calls this guy the Illusionist because he is missing the inside. You've got this illusion of him standing without support. But what I did not like about this guy is he's holding this cauldron. And I thought I would be able to take this off and change it with a bird cage originally, which would have been more fitting of my bird theme, but this is not removable. So I was trying to come up with a different idea. One of the viewers had an excellent idea about making like a mound of bird seed in here as if it would be attracting the birds. And I almost did that, but then I thought, you know, I really don't want bird seed out for a month. It might attract bugs. So I figured I'm just going to stick a simple little puck light in there. This one happens to have a remote control, so I can turn it on and it will kind of glow and emphasize the missing center section. And it just kind of is mysterious and creepy having this something glowing in the cauldron, which has attracted the birds. I'm really hoping through the missing center section of his body you're going to be able to see the artwork behind him, which I have created from a door cover. And I know it's going to be a little hard to see now, but we'll see it in a moment when I put it up. Because one of the easiest ways of decorating, I think, is just taking your existing artwork and replacing it with something Halloween-ish. Usually, if it's like a framed art with like a glass, I will just find something to put inside it. In this case, at the stairway, I don't have that option. So I built this frame out of door molding, spray painted a couple of layers of black flat paint, and then covered it with a fluorescent green because I want it to glow under blacklight. I like to use the blacklight in my Halloween displays to give kind of more that spooky, eerie, haunted, supernatural vibe. Last year we used ghosts in the stairway, so I had in this frame a ghostly woman descending the stairs. This year, because it's ravens, again, I just bought a simple door cover from Amazon. This unfortunately, I thought it would be the same size, but it wasn't. So because this frame is just hot glued together, I just sort of broke it apart. It will hold together nicely until you really want to disassemble it. Just apply a bit more force and it'll pop apart. But for everyday purposes, just hanging there, it's going to be just fine. I popped it apart, cut it to the appropriate size, and re-glued it. It's a little tight to turn it around here, so I can't show you, but on the back, I've just taped the door cover in the back side of the frame. On another project, I tried using a staple gun to do that, and I didn't realize the staples were kind of longer than the frame, and it kind of messed up the whole outside. So even though with staples you can get it more taut than I think the tape, tape's just a lot easier. I used some heavy-duty gaffer's tape at the top and the bottom. It's a little bit stickier and more secure, and then I just used simple blue tape to run along the sides. Let me go ahead and get this in place first. Then we'll put the guy in and see how much of the image we can see through him. I was really hoping that you'd be able to see the pumpkin through his body. I think the way the picture is hung, it is not exactly possible. It's mostly hidden, but you do see the amazing raven behind his head. So I'm torn. I'm probably not going to lower it so that you could see the pumpkin. I'm going to leave it so that you can see the raven. Let's go ahead and turn on the puck light. That definitely makes him glow. The light also has different modes, so if we wanted to change colors, it might draw a little bit more attention to him. So I like that. It makes him very mysterious. The last thing I'm going to do is remove his sunglasses. If you've been watching my videos that occasionally have spoilers, you'll know we're not going to leave him with these soulless empty eye sockets, but have a much more interesting plan. Next, we're going to replace the art on the side of the stairs. Right now it has those glass vases, and for Halloween time in the past we've had some version of art. Again, this is just door frame art. I actually bought these ghost pictures for the ghost display last year and just taped it into the back of the frame. And to mount them, so on that large piece of art I did actually use a picture hanger tacked into it. But for something really light like this, I used a staple gun, but popped the staple in so that it sticks out quite a bit, and that's going to give just enough lip to hold the frame. So I'm retiring our fun ghosts, and instead I'm going to be using some Raven art that I had printed. Now, I actually used ChatGPT to make these. I know, some of you out there gave me grief when I talked about this in another video. But I think that AI art is a great tool for those of us who don't have an artistic bone in our body to be able to express our artistic vision. So I am proud of my series of Raven Skull artwork. And the nice thing about using AI is that, I first made a series of the ravens and it was very dark. So then I asked ChatGPT to lighten it up and it gave me a different version. I asked it to make it a bit more distinct. I still wasn't happy. And then I finally asked it to make all the backgrounds different, and that's how I ended up with these 4 designs. Normally I would have just printed these out on my printer, but because it didn't look very good, because it's so colored and my printer is very old, it's very streaky, I didn't like it. I ended up just sending it to FedEx office. You can do it right online. I copied these into a Word document so that I could have it the size that I wanted. Uploaded the Word document, had them printed. I had them printed on heavy gloss paper, which was like $1 something each print. So these 4 prints, which look like legit prints that you could buy somewhere, it was like $6. I'm super thrilled with it. I did print the image so it's slightly larger than the opening here, which means we can maneuver it around just a little bit to get it positioned right within the frame. But we do have excess here at the bottom. I'm simply going to trim that off real quick. And now make sure that we get it positioned right. I think that looks good. Sort of hold it in place. I'm just going to use regular tape now. Just a few pieces should do it. There we go. Framed art ready to hang. There we go. Looks like we have custom art. I do have one more piece of art, and that is this Nevermore poster. This isn't necessarily a Nevermore themed display, but I made this 10, 15 years ago. I just had it printed at Staples. They did get mad at me because I used the wrong printing method. I printed it as an architectural drawing. It was super cheap, and they got mad at me for that. But it turned out pretty well, and I've used it in a lot of displays since. I'll probably put this when you go down the stairs. Opposite the stairs is a closet door. We use that frequently, so I'm not going to put this up just yet, but I'm thinking for the Halloween party, I probably will put this right there. And now it's time for the Ravens. I only bought one new one this year. Most of the stuff I've had, I love this one in particular. I bought this one from the at-home store last year. I wanted to get a few because it's so distinctive. He's going to be one of the main characters in the display. But the only one that I did actually buy was this stacking skull set. It was from Five Below. It cost $7, so I don't know why they call it Five Below anymore, because a lot of the stuff is not $5 or less. But I love how this stacks. I mean, it makes it easy to store, but it definitely fits our skull theme. The skulls snap into place, and then there's a little raven that sits on top. So I'm going to put this on the floor, kind of underneath this poster opposite the stairs. The rest of these birds are going to go on the stairway. Let's get them in place. So the birds here do tell a story. Obviously we have one cage that's open. He's trying to capture the birds. And what happens when you capture the birds is they end up dying. So in turn, now they have decided to take their revenge. That's why we have them with the skulls, because now they're attacking people. So we've got our star of the show here, and he's going to fit right up here underneath our illusionist. And he is attacking the illusionist. He is eating his eyeball, which I think is incredibly creepy. And this is actually going to tie into my theme inside, where in my circus area, I will be also having an eyeball theme. But we have one more eyeball. Let's see where it goes. Of course, I want to strategically place this here in the socket so it looks downward upon anybody passing by. The last thing we need to do is make it look spooky. I have my green fluorescent framed artwork. I need it to look super natural. So I've got my black light. This one has some different lights on it that can be multi-directional. So I am going to just place this here where it overlooks the scene below, and I can point the lights at the artwork and then just turn it on. Let's see how it turned out as we make our way into the stairway. You can see the artwork there on the wall greeting us already starting to glow. At the bottom, we do have our stacked skulls. And as we make our way around and look up the stairway, you're greeted by numerous skulls and ravens and our man of the hour, and that light really makes him shine. You've got that big raven behind him also in the glowing frame. One thing I really like is that the eyeballs really shine well under the black light. Makes it very creepy. Our artwork may be a little difficult to see in the darker environment, but even so, you can see the silhouettes really well of the raven and the skull, even if you can't see all of the details. We have this raven at the bottom looking at the person walking past. Really hard to see it in the lighting here. But we have ravens silhouetted by skulls, definitely quite visible. And I think if you're really paying attention, you're able to piece together the story. Let me know what you think. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining my Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today, but I can't wait to share more of my decorating with you. We're going to probably be doing another staircase next, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. That's going to be part of our clown-themed area. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Till then, everyone take care, and happy haunting.